Can you tell me about your sign?
Oh, it says
The city is Gritties. There you go. Go Flyers. This guy's out promoting the Flyers today. Everyone else is fighting racism. The boys in yellow.
Oh no, that's it's actually a paper towel.
How's it going, guys?
Fine.
I don't know how.
My nose.
Why are you filming us?
Can you guys tell me? Anarchist Post.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Can you guys tell me what you're doing here today?
I don't know if I want to be filmed. Interviewed. I'll just be in the background.
You can film us. We're not going to be interviewed.
You're not going to interview?
Yeah.
No, but you can take pictures.
B-roll.
Yeah.
It takes time, but we can do it.
When the Phillies won the flags, won the World Series. That's what everyone does now.
How you guys doing?
Good. Doing right.
Can you guys tell me what you're doing out here today?
I'm sorry?
Can you tell me what you're doing out here today? What your sign means?
Yeah. I hope you don't find this impolite. Are you with an organization or are you just kind of doing this for yourself?
It's my YouTube channel. It's called Anarchist Post.
I got to join that. I'm kind of the opposite myself. But the reason I'm out here today is because I heard there was a Proud Boys organization, and it wasn't just the Proud Boys, it was Proud Boys and Sports, Beer, and Politics too. And both groups dabble in hate speech and basically are using hate speech as a way to get their message across and using free speech as a cover for it. And I said, well, I'm against hatred and that kind of racism, so I'm going to be out here to protest.
Okay, and do you think hate speech should be allowed in Philly?
I firmly believe in freedom of speech for everyone, even if it's speech I hate, as long as it doesn't cross the line of inciting or promoting violence. And I've heard the argument about, well, if they're Nazis, they're promoting, and that's the line. Like, if they're an actual Nazi, no, but they have a right to have whatever horrible, hateful opinion they want. Because, like, I have the ability to come out here and say, you're full of crap for what you're thinking, and I'm going to protest you with a bunch of people I can. As many people as I can.
Are you against any other race-based groups like Black Panthers or anything else like that?
I definitely have a problem with, I don't know what the actual name of it is. It kind of goes under the name of 12 Tribes of Israel or something like that. They're also a local hate group, and they promote this horrible racist agenda. And they tend to come up around City Hall on Fridays, so I'm against them. I'm firmly against them. They speak out against gays all the time too, which makes it just horrible, so I'm definitely against them as well. Thank you for asking.
Hey man, can I ask you a question?
What's up, man?
Can you not film me? Can you point that away from me, please?
Not if you're asking me a question.
I just want to know, where can we find the Anarchy Post?
On YouTube.
On YouTube? That's a thing?
It's Anarchist Post.
All right.
I don't have a website.
You don't have a website?
No.
That's weird. We're in the
you
20,
said-
we're like in 2018. You don't have a website?
No,
You said Anarchist Post on YouTube?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You don't have a website?
Nope.
It's kind of weird, don't you think? Where does somebody go to find your stuff?
YouTube.
YouTube?
Yeah.
What's the handle?
I don't know what the handle is. The YouTube name is Anarchist Post. It's the name of my channel.
What's the name of your
Check
channel?
out my videos, Coffee with a Cop. They're pretty good. Let's see what your sign says here. And when does, in your mind, the line for free speech and hate speech, where is that drawn?
It's very blurred. I have a problem with people using their rights to harm other people. So, you know, I used to be Jewish. I grew up in Hebrew school at a very young age. I was exposed to the Holocaust. So I have a zero tolerance for Nazis. I don't think they have a place here in America, or in the Philadelphia for that matter, at all whatsoever. and I view the whole hate speech thing as unnecessary. And I also draw the line when they start taking symbols. Since I'm a witch now, I use like the pentagram and everything, and I have a problem with them using my symbols, my coven symbols, as hate symbols. They're not your symbols. The swastika was never their symbol. They don't have a right. They need, like, what they are is they're babyish, and there's no need for it. It shouldn't exist. Hate speech should not be a thing. Like, we're all humans. We're all part of the same race and same family. That's why I'm out here.
Hello. How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm good.
You want to tell me what you're doing out here today?
Just filming, documenting, showing that there was a non-violent sect to Antifa.
You're part of Antifa?
I wouldn't consider myself an official part of it, but I am a libertarian socialist.
Libertarian socialist?
Yep.
What's a libertarian socialist?
Libertarian socialist means you believe in basic liberties such as freedom of speech, freedom of the press, but you believe that the government should be providing a helping hand to its citizens.
Doesn't that go against the freedom of you should have the right to your own money and to not have
No.
money
See,
taken
there's
from you through taxation?
hold on. That's a corrupted version of the word libertarian. What happened was, if you look at the history of the word libertarian, such as people like Noam Chomsky, for instance, right? They were very left-wing and were considered libertarians. Then what happened was, people like Milton Friedman, I believe the guy's name was, eventually corrupted and coerced that word to mean something more aligned with just an anarcho-capitalist worldview, when that's not what it used to be.
Do you believe that taxation is theft?
No.
No? And why not?
Because it's not. Taxation is something you pay to make sure the government is helping you out. And if it's misspent, then you should speak up against it, such as foreign intervention.
All right. And what is theft?
Define theft. And what do you mean by theft in this sense?
Well, I define theft as taking something of someone's against their consent.
Well, I would say you're a United States citizen. You are consenting to have your taxes used. Now, the issue is where your tax dollars are being used. So my issue with this whole concept of taxation being theft is I see it as a foolish argument. I see it as a foolish argument because you can make up the case that how our tax dollars are being used, as I said, such as the war on terror, is unjust. But for educational services, making sure schools in urban cities are succeeding, that's not theft, that's a public service.
So you think me being born in a physical location equals consent, or my existence in a physical location?
You're an American citizen. I'm an American citizen. Well, define anarchist in this sense. Are you right-wing anarchist or left-wing anarchist?
I don't believe that anyone should rule over another person.
Okay.
I define anarchism as no rulers.
1 second. Have you ever heard of Noam Chomsky?
I have.
All right. Do you agree with his philosophy on anarchism?
Not his philosophy on socialism and his left-wing ideologies now.
What's wrong with left-wing ideologies?
Well, because when you start getting into socialism, you have to steal money from some people to give it to other people, when I believe that your property is yours and nobody has the right to it.
And what is theft? Making sure that the poorest person has a right to succeed? Making sure that they have a leg up in some form?
In which ways?
For example, making sure that they have a leg up with welfare, for instance, right?
Well, welfare has been proven to hold people down. It makes it so somebody can't gain to a next level.
That
of
is
economic
a BS libertarian talking point, my friend.
It's not. You can tell from the time welfare was started, poverty has increased. The war on poverty has been a war on people.
The war on poverty has not been a failure. The problem has been not enough effort to make sure that people are lifted out of poverty due to our taxes being misused for foreign intervention. I believe very, very much that our tax dollars should be used for domestic purposes, making sure that the poorest of the poor have a chance to succeed.
Well, I definitely don't think that any money should be going for foreign intervention, but at the same time, I don't think any money should be stolen off people.
It's not being stolen. It's you helping your fellow citizens through your taxes.
Now, is there other circumstances where you being in a certain area equals consent? Like if a girl's at my house, does that mean I can have sex with her? That equals consent?
This is not the same situation. You are using a straw man in this instance. The issue we are talking about here is the government, and the government is an entity. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying here is that when the government is using your tax dollars, they can use that in a variety of ways. Now, if we can talk about the misuse of taxes on our foreign wars, I'm all for it. But I would say the idea of taxation being theft is a foolish statement at the end of the day.
Are all legitimate rights of the government is derived from the people?
Repeat that?
Are all legitimate rights of the government derived from the people?
Are all legitimate rights of the government derived from the people? Let me think about this. Let me ask you this. What does that statement mean to you?
The statement means the government on its own doesn't have rights that the people don't have to begin with. You can't delegate a right to the government that you don't have. Do you have the right to take money from me?
What I'm saying is the government. If I robbed you, that is different.
Fuck you!
Okay.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Alrighty. Well, that escalated quickly. So what I'm trying
If
to
you were
say-
to take money from me,
But
that
the
would be
difference
theft.
is, it's not me taking money from you. It's the government using that money to make sure that your fellow citizens have a right to succeed in some form.
My
The
question is,
issue
where did the
not
government get the right to take that money from you?
The issue. Well, if you want a functioning government, you need a form of taxation. Without a functioning form of government, you can't have social services to make sure that the poorest of the poor have a chance to succeed. Without a good social safety net, the poor will just be shit out of luck at the end of the day.
Fuck you!
Or they be trapped in the welfare state like we have right now?
The reason that's the case, no, I'm not going to submit to that. Here's why. If you look at the issues we are facing now, it's not because of a welfare state. It is because of deregulation that has caused the markets to basically try to defend themselves. And you know what that leads to? Economic crashes. The stupid tax cuts Trump's doing, that's going to lead to an economic crash. And let me tell you right now, if there was an economic crash, I don't know if the government would be able to defend itself.
You don't think the endless printing of money and social programs have anything to do with the economic crash that's coming?
No, the economic crash is done by deregulation. Look at the last crash. That was done when Glass-Steagall was repealed. A really strong piece of legislation passed by FDR. That should have been in place, but Clinton was an idiot and he repealed it. And then Bush further deregulated us, and then that led to a crash. Obama did some regulation, but unfortunately didn't go far enough. So if you want to talk about, do I believe regulation is necessary to basically to make sure capitalism doesn't destroy itself? Hell yeah, I do. Because as we've seen, my friend, capitalism will destroy itself if not checked.
Well, the housing market crash happened because they made loans easier to get for poor people.
And how do you think that happened? Look, you can have this smug smile.
It happened because they want endless money printed. So they want there to be more people buying houses and getting loans, and they want to increase the debt. That's the goal. The end goal
Don't submit to them.
You don't submit to that.
No. I'd like to see your source in that.
$21 trillion.
I would like to see your sources for this information.
Well, what happens is when they print money.
Give me a source. Give me a source for your data. I will gladly give you mine.
When they print money, they don't print the interest for the money. So people owe money that doesn't exist. So they need endless money printing. That's how it happens.
Just give me some data so I can look at it myself.
All right, I'll make sure I put it in the in the notes on the video. I don't have it on me right now. I can't look it up.
Come
on my
on,
phone.
you got a phone, you got it. You must have it in your bookmarks.
I'm live streaming right now.
Yeah, you can stop the live stream for a couple seconds to give me some data.
What's your email address?
I personally would not like to give you my email address, but
You can look up the video. I'll put it in the notes of the video. It's Anarchist Post. Do you want to write it down? Say channel.
yeah, I'll remember it.
All right, man. I appreciate the interview.
All right.
Have a good one.